Alright guys, so today I'll be doing a review of F1 2015. Now just be aware that I've never done one of these before, so you probably won't be used to my style of, I guess, reviewing games. I'm not even used to my style because I've never done this before, but just be aware that I'm reviewing the Xbox version of the game. So there may be some things that's included in this game that you may not know about or I may not touch upon because I haven't experienced it yet, because there may be a whole different set of issues on the PC, or there may be just completely different issues on the PS4 version, because in the past the F1 games have sort of been different on each single platform. There's not been much parity in the past, so just be aware I'm reviewing the Xbox version of this game. So, in this video I'm going to start off with the good, and then I'm going to go to the bad, and then at the end I'm going to give you my final thoughts and a recommendation as to whether you should buy this game or not. So, starting off with the good, and the good is really the single player. It is just amazing. The experience with the AI has been unbelievable. Like their racecraft, their awareness, just their overall just racing with the AI has been the best it's ever been on any Codemasters F1 game. It's just simply awesome to race with them. They pass you up the inside. They have mistakes. They crash off with each other. If you don't give them enough space, then obviously you're going to make contact and you're going to spin out. So that single player aspect is the best it's ever been on any F1 game so far. The handling is also really good. I came from the PC using a Fanatec CSR, and now I'm using the Thrustmaster TX. I don't know if it's the wheel or the force feedback itself, but jumping from F1 2014 on that to what I have now, it just feels amazing. Like, I can't explain it, but I just feel so much more connected with the road. Albeit, I can't really feel where the limit of grip is when you turn the wheel too much, so that's something I can't quite get a feeling of just yet, but overall the handling feels a lot better than what F1 2014 was. Now moving on to the graphics, and I've got to say they look fairly nice for next gen. I'm just talking about the cars on the track itself, especially at night or when it's raining. That's when the graphics really showcase how good they are for next gen. But they sort of let down a little bit when you see the first lap, when you're in replay cameras. The frame rate can drop a little bit, and it can be, I don't know, a little bit stuttery in that aspect. And also, if we're going to talk about bad things in terms of the graphics, the player modeling of the faces of the drivers just looks pretty terrible. They all look fairly, I don't know, sick or something. I don't know, it just looks like I'm watching Pez or something. Like, the people don't look realistic. But moving on, the contact system. When you make contact with another car, say wheel-to-wheel contact, or someone tags you in the rear end, you're going to spin, because I don't know, it's much more sensitive this year compared to F1 2014. I never remember an AI car spinning me out, but this year it's definitely capable of doing that. So you can't afford to just squeeze the AI off the track, otherwise you're going to come off worse for wear, and I like that because it's realistic in that sense. So credit to Codemasters for making the contact system. I'm not talking about the damage, just the contact. As soon as you make contact, you'll probably spin or something like that. I think it really reflects what happens in real life much better than what previous games did. Now, that's it for the good. That is it. Now we're going to talk about the bad. And oh man, there is a lot of bad things with this game. The glitches. Every 5 minutes, probably more often than that, you'll come across a glitch on F1 2015. Whether it be your whole garage turning red with smoke, or if it's flying cars flying through the air from contact, or a car randomly disappearing on the grid. It's just an endless amount of glitches that I've seen in the 4 or 5 days that I've owned this game. It's ridiculous. There's like an endless list. I don't want to go into it too much, but you guys get the point. There's just been so many glitches I've seen in the last few days. It's a joke, and we probably haven't even touched the surface of how many glitches still exist in this game. Now, moving on to online, and online is simply unraceable, not only for me being an Australian, but for everyone. A few of my mates, Xmatty and Arava, they live an hour away from each other, and they can't race each other because the whole lobby just desyncs. No one can see where they are anymore, and it just turns into a time trial. All the cars turn into sort of ghost cars. They sort of drive like AI cars on like amateur difficulty, but you can't see where everyone is exactly on their screen. So it essentially turns into a time trial, and it's just not fun Who wants to race time trial with AI cars? That's what it is. It's just ridiculous. So, whatever the netcode is, the Codemaster said it was rewritten for this game. Bullshit. Because we've seen slow car glitches, the lag, it's exactly the same as what we've seen in the past. So, I don't know. I think it's copy-paste for online, as far as I'm concerned. The damage model, it is very poor. Like, you can get away with so much damage. Like, you'll smash into a wall, nothing will happen. Like, you won't even lose your front wing or anything. So, well, sometimes, I don't know, it's inconsistent, shall I say. Just like the corner cutting and track extending and the warnings. Like, you can cut out the whole third sector in, where is it, Mexico, and you'll only get like a 2-second penalty. It's a joke. So they need to reflect the penalty system to be a little bit more accurate and be more consistent with not only the damage, but the application of penalties, because you can get away with so much on this game. In qualifying, you'll cut like 5 corners, and it'll say, warning, corner cutting, or warning, left the track limits, but then you'll still post the time. That makes no sense. Moving on, this is also sort of to do with online, but it applies to career mode as well. There's like the structure of the game is so poorly made. Like, you have to go with a session length for your career mode season. If you want to do full qualifying, you have to do a 100% race. But if I personally, I want to do 50% races. So I chose that, but I can only do short qualifying now, and people in the comments are always asking me, hey Ben, where is full qualifying? Well, I can't do it, I can't change it anymore, because once you've changed it, that's it for the season. I just want to be able to fully customize the length of the different sessions. Why can't we do that? Just, I don't know, the reasoning behind some of the game modes and the sessions, like online. There's no public lobbies anymore. If you want to host a lobby, it's private, so you have to invite everyone in. And the way that the online lobbies now are structured, they're called hoppers. And the way that these hoppers work is they give you, I don't know, about 10 to 15 different sessions that you could enter into, or types of sessions. And it just means now that people are so segregated, and, there's so much choice there that now everyone's going to be so segregated that there's only going to be like a 2-man lobby or a 3-man lobby in any race. God knows how scarce the PC players are going to be, because there's hardly anyone on PC from online that I've seen in the last few years, let alone now. But yeah, I just liked it before, how you could just see the whole list of different sessions that were on multiplayer for that platform, and you could just join the one that had the most people in it. That's what I did. I just want to race lots of people. Like, who wants to race in a lobby with 2 people? Because that's just what's happening now, because this is the first weekend of F1 2015, and it's bad now. Can you imagine in 2 months' time, 3 months' time, when people stop playing the game, or when, the hype dies down, there's going to be no one, and I say no one, on online anymore, because they just can't find anyone. So that's the sort of situation we're looking at, unless it's changed, because I don't know. I don't know anyone who's going to be playing online for too long if the desync and the lag sticks around for too much longer. And also, while we're talking about online, it's pretty bad, because you can't even race as yourself anymore. Like, there's absolutely no customization in F1 2015. Before, you could choose your own helmet, you got to race as yourself in career mode. None of that exists anymore. So, for me personally, it just feels like there is absolutely nothing that motivates me from playing this game, apart from just the fact that I like driving. Apart from that, nothing is keeping me from playing this game. In the past, Codemasters had online ranks that kept you going, but now there's none of that. Career mode, nothing really keeps you going from playing 2 or 3 or more seasons, because after you're done with season 1, everything resets, you pick a new team and you start again. Like, there's no progression, or there's, like before in the past, you could start off with a slow team, and if you dragged, say, Marussia up into the points or into the midfield, your car would get upgraded, and your position in the constructors' standings would sort of reflect your new speed. So gradually, if you just drag them from the bottom, you'd eventually get quicker and quicker. But there's none of that now. As soon as you finish off for the season, that's it. So I don't know what the reasoning is from Codemasters, but they really haven't thought about the long game with this year's F1 release. Because in 2 to 3 months' time, no one is going to be playing this game. Online, we can't even race each other. And as I said, you can't race as yourself. There's just no motivation for me personally to keep going, because I just feel like I'm racing in their world, and it's so restricted. It's a joke. You know, normally when you've been making F1 games for 5-6 years, you think you'd add features, but no, these guys, they've been taking away features. I don't get it. It just makes no sense. And even if this game was perfect and the online was fine, I would have even said that this game really needs to, well, this franchise, they really need to start, you know, adding some depth to their series. They took away classic cars. They've taken away a lot of game modes. So there's nothing really much for us to play now apart from single player, because online, as I said, it's unraceable. So what I was going to say in my F1 2015 review, no matter how good this game was going to be, this game needs to start, you know, adding some depth, like classic cars. They need to start introducing some DLC, you know, 5 months, 6 months after the game comes out, because they need people to keep playing the game all year round, because I see this year in, year out. People, they play the game a lot the first month or two, and then after that there's just a massive drop-off of people who don't play anymore. So they need to, I don't know, introduce new tracks that come in through DLC, or new classic cars or something, or maybe in future F1 releases they need to start introducing GP2, Formula Renault 3.5, that sort of thing, because yeah, the last 2 years, including F1 2014, we've had some really bare bones games, and I don't know that they're worth the £60 price tag or whatever it is, or the $100 price tag that it has over here in Australia. I don't know, I think you get more value out of buying an older F1 game like F1 2013 or F1 2010, for example. Those are my two favourite games that Codemasters have made in the past. But yeah, if I had to rate this game out of 10, I actually don't know what I give it, so I'm not going to give it a rating. But if I had to give you a recommendation as to whether to buy this game or not, if you really want to get this game and you don't mind that you can't race as yourself, or you don't want to race online, you just want to race single player, I'd say this game is worth it. But for overall, I wouldn't tell you to get this game right now. I'd say wait 2 to 3 months, maybe more. Wait for the price to come down and wait for some patches to come out, and this game will be more complete for a lower price. So that's been my F1 2015 review for you guys. I'm sorry that it went on for so long. It was a very long-winded rant, so it probably wasn't the most, I don't know, professional review in the world, but hey, I just thought I'd get my thoughts out there, and you guys really wanted to know if this game was worth it or not, so I just thought I'd get my opinions out there. This game is very bare bones at the moment. There's a lot of things that this game needs to have in the game. For example, safety car. There's no safety car in this game. No red flags. I don't know. And modding. Modding on the PC, that's a massive one. It seems for the moment you can't even mod on this game. So, yeah. Just, this game is so restricted, it's a joke. You can do hardly anything. But that's going to do this review for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. If this is the first time you've seen one of my videos and you like this content, then make sure you subscribe to see career mode. Maybe some online videos if we can get some races in, and other racing game videos in the future. So that's going to do this video for today. Until my next one, guys, I'll see you next time.